Hello everybody, my name is Face. There's a bit of a sad stuff that's happened, or at least sad stuff for me that's happened recently when it comes to the Draugur. And basically, I lost my Draugur 900 mil down the drain. And so it's unfortunate, but it's not at all to do with the fit. It's just that I was really dumb. I made so many mistakes, and even I didn't even follow my own advice. It's just so stupid how I handled the situation in the abyss and how I got wrecked. So it was not that I got ganked. That was the way I was thinking that my Draugur would end if it ever was to die, that it just gets ganked, but it wasn't the case. I died to my own mistakes. So I was thinking of just sharing with you guys this, so if you do plan on using the Draugur, you could learn a bit from it. So it was just multiple mistakes. That was a complete catastrophe. And the first off was that me and my friend, Ibad, we decided to go for some gamma sites. It was me who was very advocate of that. He wasn't too big of a fan for it, but I thought that, okay, it should go pretty good. Since in the gamma sites, you have reduced explosive resistance, and explosive damage is one of the types of damages that the Triglavian ships do. As you can see here, you can see we do a lot of explosive damage as well as thermal damage, especially Occult. It does even more explosive damage actually than the Mystic. So it is a very good damage type to have if you want to do Triglavians. I mean, it seems maybe counterintuitive because, you know, the Firestorm is good for Triglavians because, you know, the buffed armor, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's a good filament to do, actually, the Firestorm, because it gives you a big buff to armor, and that is important when you're in a Triglavian ship, because you get a very big armor buffer, you have more time to react, and just in general you'll be more tanky because you'll maybe have a more likelihood to survive those wrecking shots. You can definitely survive Charybdis Tyrannos wrecking shots in a T5 if you have if you go for the Firestorms. If you do Gammas, however, it could maybe be a different story. But the Draugur, naturally speaking, has a very good buffer, so it's not too bad, even when it comes to wrecking shots in Gammas, but still, it'll be much easier to survive them if you're in a Firestorm. So that was the first thing that was the big issue right there. We went in Gamma size, and okay, so why would Gamma size be a problem then? Well, it was because my fit, it used a thermal resistance in the rig, like a thermal resist rig for the armor. Now, I'm not exactly sure how the math works, but I think it has something to do with a bit of diminishing returns. And basically, you could think of it like this, and I think it also has something to do with the interaction of the reactive armor hardener. But since we were doing the gamma sites, having a thermal armor reinforcer rig, it made it so that see here, this is the fit I was using. This rig right here, it gives me really good thermal resistance. But the thing is, if I'm in the Firestorm, we reduce this, so it comes into big play because we need to get our thermal resistance up. So I think it just has something to do that in the gamma site, you already are reducing. You're not reducing this at all, and I think it has something to do with diminishing returns if you factor in this reactive armor hardener. The point is, we had less tank in the gamma site. It had something to do with the resistances. It would have been more favorable if I had put an explosive armor reinforcer if I wanted to tank Triglavians. Now, that was particularly the wave I died on. It was the Triglavian wave. It was a basic starving Vedmak spawn. It was nothing really complicated, just a basic starving Vedmak spawn. Now, I underestimated many things right here. So, first off, I thought I was going to easily be able to survive the newts. I did not. I got neutered out hard. Now, why did I get neutered out? Well, it was because this ship fit right here that we were using, it used remote armor repairs. What was I doing while I was getting neutered? I was remote repairing my friend. Why am I remote repairing my friend if he's not taking damage and I'm taking damage? It's just a waste of capacitor. Look at this. We have capacitor to spare with it. We don't have any to spare without it. Now, if I deactivate these and I put some charges in the capacitor booster, you can see here, I have 20 gigajoules to spare. A very big, hefty amount of capacitor to spare. Overheat it a bit and we get even more. Now, I didn't even overheat it. That was another thing that was really problematic. That it was just, I was doing so many things wrong. I was wasting all my capacitor with those those remote armor repairs. I was barely using my capacitor booster when I shouldn't even. I should have used it overheated. I didn't overheat it, and I used it only at the very last second when I realized, oh wait, crap, I'm getting neutered out hard. So I wasted a lot of time, which I could have used to get my capacitor back up. The second mistake I made, apart from like when it comes to piloting mistakes, was that I used the wrong like target priorities. I was thinking that, okay, we take out the Vedmax and they'll be fine. The thing is, there were a lot of starving Damavix on the grid. Now, 2 starving Damavix newts you equivalent of 1 starving Vedmax, a tiny bit less. 2 of them newt you a tiny bit less than a starving Vedmax, but almost the same. And we could kill starving like Damavix or Damavix in general. We could kill them in just a few seconds. We didn't even manage to kill a single Vedmac until I died. The Vedmacs were just so tanky, you know. They were very tanky. I don't know why, but it had to do with my friend Iban. He was getting like pushed out of range a lot because we weren't anchoring properly either. So he was having to use Mystic and doing less damage, obviously. And it was just taking forever for the stupid Vedmac to die. And the Damavix, they're always in range. They're always at like 500 at me. So we could have killed them very easily. And just in general, when we use this fit or the fit I showed you here to kill Damavix, they die really quickly. You apply so good to the Damavix that they die so quickly. So we should have definitely tried to kill some of the starving Damavix at least. It was just so they had just an insane amount of newts. Even with my friend like remote repairing me, I then eventually thought that, okay, I have to stop remote repairing, so then I could save some capacitor. But even then, it was not enough. I tried using my local rep, barely could use it at all. When it came to the end, I could not even use this reactive armor hardener. When I couldn't use this reactive armor hardener, I just died in 2 seconds. Now this comes to like another thing that was very problematic for me. I activated my reactive armor hardener later than I should have. Or not activated it, but what I mean is I reactivated it later than I should have. Because when you're using the Draugur, when you go to a new wave, you always want to reset your reactive armor hardener. Because if you go from a previous wave, then you have the reactive armor hardener adapt its resistances to a particular type. Okay, so for example, if I'm taking a lot of sleeper damage, sleepers do quite a bit of EM damage. So a lot of EM damage, right? Then all the other resistances are going to be pretty low. So thermal, explosive, going to be pretty low. And that is what Triglavians do. So I think it was a sleeper wave that we had. And then what happened after that was that we got the Triglavian wave. And I didn't think about reactivating my reactive until quite a bit into the battle. So I basically was taking so much damage initially because I was I had really bad resists. Plus, on top of that, I told you before that I had the wrong rig here, so I naturally had bad. Like I had a lot less tank towards Triglavians than if I had in a Firestorm, and even then, I had to then reactivate it afterwards just to get it to spool, because it takes a really long time for it to adjust this reactive armor hardening resistances if you've had it already adapt to something else. So I had to reactivate it, and that caused a bunch of things to mess up then, because a lot of time was wasted to our spending trying to struggle neuting out. And then it came to the point where I was even getting neuted out so hard that I couldn't even barely use my Entropic Disintegrator as well, so it stopped spooling up. It was just a big catastrophe right there. So many things went wrong there. First of all, I should have not used the Gamma Sights. We would have had so much more time to react with the Firestorm buff to my armor, because it felt like my armor just got volleyed like that almost. And then second of all, then I should have reactivated my reactive armor hardener, because I would need to get my resistances up and running faster. Third of all, I should have managed my cap better. I should have used my cap booster and overheated it a lot more, and you actually used it instead of just waiting until the last second. And fourth of all, I should have also not use my remote boosters or remote armor repairs when I am getting absolutely hammered by newts by the starving Vedmax. And then we should have also probably killed some of those starving Damavix as well, because they newt very hard and they also die very quickly, because we've got very good tracking and good application to those little scrubby Damavix. So I don't think at all this fit is bad. I think it will definitely get through the firestorms right, but it was more like I was getting overconfident as well. Like just a bit of my mindset when going in there in the gamma side. I was just like, we're gonna wreck them so quickly. Like it's not gonna be any problem as well. So I was also very like laid back. I was really chilled out as well. So I was not even thinking there's gonna be anything challenging. So I was really like, what the heck? It got me by surprise. It took me a long time to react as well. Just in general, my reactions were really slow to what was going on because I was so confident that we were gonna wreck it. So you just have to be a bit like on your toes a bit when you're doing these abyssites as well. But really, it would have helped so much if I was in the firestorm. I would have had more tank and also more buffer. Like two things, like I get more because of the weather effect and the way the rig works and the resistances work. I would have had essentially more tank, like EHP per second, but I also would have had a bigger buffer too. So it was just a mess up from on multiple different levels. So basically, just run the firestorms and be on your toes. Don't get chilled out like I did, and think about the starving Damaviks. I think really this is the Draugur is an amazing ship for doing T5s. It feels so tanky, just not when you're getting neutered out hard and you're wasting all your capacitor on stupid things. Anyway, hope you guys learned something new from that, from my mistakes there, so you don't have to pay a 900 million ISK kill mail to the abyssal entities or the Trilavians. Hope you guys don't throw Draugurs away into the abyss as well like I do, and hope you earn some dank ISK or if you do decide to use a Draugurs or any other kind of abyssal ship for that matter. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.